All right, welcome in everybody. We got a late one for you tonight, April 24th. I'm Jason, the creator of the TCP SuperSystem that you see on the screen. Also, bottom right, fiat leak just for the US. You can see what tokens are flowing. Got all kinds of activities right now, so great sign. It's going to kind of confirm what you're going to see on some of our charts tonight. Reminder, I'm doing this for free, giving you interpretations, signals from this TCP super system I created over 2 to 3 years through a lot of pain and suffering. And I want to keep this thing free, so please help support the channel, like, share, subscribe to the content. That helps me keep this thing free. It's truly remarkable. Again, we leverage this system to create alpha returns that far exceed that whole 7% that you get in the stock market. And I will tell you that it's pretty remarkable. So, and I want to share this with my community. Hopefully, I can, you can help, or I guess leverage this in your own research efforts, and maybe it'll change your life like it's changed mine. And with that said, I do need to put this out there. The system, the interpretations, the signals, they're not financial advice. I'm not an advisor. I'm just sharing information so you can leverage it in your own research efforts. But you got to make your own decisions and make your own investment choices. I will say, that this is something that, again, is proven to be very effective. I'll go over kind of the three components of the system. Then we'll look at some Bitcoin news real fast on our LinkedIn page. Look at some charts, and the two signals that we got in today, they're actually equities, not crypto. But I'll share those, and then we'll look at a couple of crypto charts as well, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So yeah, and I did promise some folks today that I would share this, and you can see this is our coin market cap. We've got, we do have the values blocked just for safety reasons, but you can see our top holdings. This is by dollar volume or by dollar amount. Will be Bitcoin, XRP, Cardano, HBAR, Link, Solana, and then there's a bunch of others. But you can see over the past 7 days, I mean, it's significant. Um, so and all this is we're able to achieve all this with this super system. So I will say, outside of a meme coin, we do have a Solana meme coin. We do have Bonk as our only meme coin. We like to stay away from those, but outside of that one, I would say from a token amount perspective, on a quantity of token, it would probably be Cardano, XRP, and HBAR. HBAR actually being number one. Um, a lot of those are tokenization plays. So we'll look at a couple of those today in our super system, but just wanted to share that as I promised. With that, let's go over and look at our Trim Capital Partners LinkedIn page. A couple of things I just wanted to share tonight on Bitcoin, and then we'll go back to the charts. So again, from Cointelegraph here, they mentioned the spot Bitcoin ETFs buying 10,430 Bitcoin worth 912 million, April 22nd, day before my birthday. So pretty good sign there. Again, largest daily inflow since the inauguration. So if you think about where Bitcoin is right now, at what, roughly 92, 93,000? Not bad. So pretty good sign there. Cointelegraph, Elon Musk reveals it holds, or Tesla still holds on to its 11,509 Bitcoin worth over $1 billion as of Q1. And you got to think all these people are working together, right? So, I mean, do you really think they're going to be, trying to force this thing to tank? I just don't think so. I'll go on a little rant here, but I would probably say that this is one of the most opportunistic times that you could probably ever imagine in your life to create wealth for yourself, your family, your kids, probably for generations to come. I mean, this is remarkable what we're seeing, and that's the transformation of the financial system, right? And that doesn't come around too often. And what's sad is a lot of people are probably going to miss out on this opportunity because of what they hear in the news, the media, the financial advisors of the world used to scare people away from it. I mean, it's crazy. But if you watch what the big whales are doing, you watch these ETFs, you understand that U.S. states are passing legislation to incorporate, Bitcoin. You got governments around the world fighting over Bitcoin, passing legislation. You've got, again, the ETFs. You got corporations integrating or forming corporate treasury strategies over that will involve Bitcoin and other cryptos. You got the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. You got the digital stockpile they're going to put together. So, I mean, this is only the beginning. And the fact that a lot of retail have beat or could have beat the institutions and the corporations and the governments to this space is truly remarkable. Usually doesn't happen that way. So, my only advice would be know what you hold, understand the game, stay away from leverage because you will get burned, you will get hunted, and you will be liquidated. Hate leverage. I would not recommend it. Sorry, I got a couple messages down here. Let's see, moving on. We're going to look at this one here from SEC Chairman Paul Atkins, talking about his top priority to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets. So we can look at this real fast here.
Coherent.
Let's see what he has to
A top
say.
priority of my chairmanship will be to provide a firm regulatory foundation for digital assets through a rational, coherent, and principled approach. We will work to ensure that the United States is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and to do business. So, Mr. President, again, thank you very much for your graciousness.
Yep, good stuff there. Let's see. Bitcoin for corporations, SoftBank, Tether, and Cantor Fitzgerald in talks to form $3 billion public vehicle built around a Bitcoin treasury strategy. Which leads to this one from 21 Capital CEO Jack Mallers. Let's take a listen.
We are hopeful to have our shares listed on a stock exchange under the ticker XXI. Today, we are trading under CEP, which Caroline mentioned is our Cantor Equity Partners, and that stock is trading in live today. If it's successfully merged upon closing, it will be XXI. We do intend to raise as much capital as we possibly can to acquire Bitcoin. Again, my one rule to my shareholders is it will be accretive. Our Bitcoin per share will grow. We will never have Bitcoin per share negative. At least that's our intent. Our intent is to make sure that when you're a shareholder of 21, that you're getting wealthier in Bitcoin.
Hey, I get all that, and I'll be honest, I hate SPACs personally. Now, granted, this will probably be massive, but why go through a vehicle like this when you can just go buy the underlying asset, which is always the best thing? Just opinion. So let's keep moving. And then from our man, the one and only Michael Saylor, you got to listen to this man. He's brilliant. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. He's leveraging credit facilities, debt facilities to maximize his Bitcoin holdings, now over 500,000 Bitcoin. So let's listen to what he has to say.
We'll just keep buying, right? The price is going to go up. It's
Wait a minute. This is where the $50 million Bitcoin comes in.
going to get exponentially harder, and the price is going to go up exponentially higher, and we'll just keep buying. And at some point, you know, if we get to 5% of the supply, Bitcoin's probably going to be $1 million a coin. And if we get to 7.5% of the supply, Bitcoin will be 10 million a coin. And then if I'm lucky enough to grind to 10% of the supply, Bitcoin's going to be 50 million a coin, and someone will be whining that whatever, we have too much Bitcoin, but other people will have $400 trillion of wealth, you know? So our view is it's a ratchet, and we're just going to keep cranking on the ratchet, and there's massive leverage here. And I think everybody's winning if we do that.
We bring it to you. The question is, you either listen or you don't. Let's see. I think that's gonna be it. Here's one for XDC. We like XDC. It's fine. Oh, this was interesting, and then we'll move on. So this was 2 days ago. So from Cointelegraph. So there are now 72 pending ETF applications with the SEC, including our favorite, another favorite. So, you can see them there. You probably can't read that, but yes, with these ETFs, the regime that came in for the SEC, hopefully there's lots of approvals pending, and that's going to drive some massive runs over the summer and probably toward the end of this year and into next year. So we'll see how this plays out, but much better environment than in the past. So let's move on. We're going to look at a couple crypto charts. Then I'm going to show you the two alerts we got in today for AT&T and Tesla. But I did want to show you how some of these cryptos have performed over the last couple of days after revealing some of the alerts that fired. So here's Bitcoin. You can see back on, what was that, the 14th, April 17th? Yep. We got that is a confirmation up label. And again, for those new to the TCP SuperSystem that you see on the screen, there's three components. I'll run through this fast. The main component, you'll see a couple things. Moving averages, which we simply leverage for like kind of support and resistance zones. We don't do the MACD stuff. We don't do the RSI garbage. This is custom coded indicators and signals that we've developed over 2 to 3 years. So moving averages, you got your momentum and trend in the clouds. So the green cloud, the red cloud. You're going to have two sets of signals. The yellow, which are your triangles and your labels. Those are potential trend reversals, confirmation of trend reversal. You're also going to have, you don't see it here, but you're going to have, I can maybe show you a chart. Here you go. Dark green diamonds, dark red diamonds. Those are historically, when combined with the other pieces I'm fixing to discuss, the most opportunistic times to evaluate and decide if you want to enter, whether you're scaling in, scaling out, DCAing in or out, or in, I guess, from that matter. But those are the most important signals that we're looking for, especially when combined with others. The three at the bottom are the hot sensors. Those are short-term, medium-term, long-term. We're looking for two things: color scheme, crossovers. Color scheme: white, gray, blue, yellow, orange, red. That'll be to the upside and to the downside. Red being, again, most opportunistic areas to evaluate for decision making, especially when combined with the other indicators. And we'll go over this. This will be a good one we might can go over too, Jupiter. So, and then at the top you'll have mean reversion data. You have extreme zones in the hash lines, top and bottom. You got opportunity zones, solid green, solid red. Then three lines, red being the fast, most volatile line. Then orange, and then blue being the slowest line. And there's certain things we're looking for here that we always discuss as we look at different charts. So we'll go over some of that. So we'll come back to Jupiter, but I'm going to start back with Bitcoin. So again, confirmation of uptrend on the 17th, about 1 week ago. That was somewhere right around, let's just say 85, 80, 84, 85, something. Now we're at 94. A nice return, ladies and gentlemen, in a couple of days. But you can see that cloud also changed, so you knew we were in the uptrend. We broke through some of those resistance zones, being the 200-day moving average, and now the 100-day moving average will now serve as support. At the same time, about when we got, actually a little bit before, so back when we got the potential trend reversal, you can see we got the crossover on the hot sensor here. The medium ones, when the medium hot sensor was, we saw an improvement in color scheme from gray to white, which is positive. And then kind of the same thing down here on the long term. And then we have crossovers now on all three. So far, you're winning all over the place. Looking here at the top, when we were getting the confirmed uptrend, look at the mean reversion data. And this is what we want to see. So right about here. The red line was up above the red zone, fantastic, and even the higher it gets, the better. Orange was well above the green opportunity zone, right, and approaching the red zone, that's positive. And the blue was about approaching the green opportunity zone. So that scenario, fantastic. And then bam, there's your run. and we're just starting. None of the hot sensors are in an exhaustive state. So, I mean, this is looking pretty healthy. So that's Bitcoin for you. And if you go back and look at our videos, we can't lie. These alerts we get are automated. We discuss them every night. We bring it to you for free again. So you'll see the numbers, you'll see the commentary. Can't change it. And we literally, when we were trading about 85, I think we said, don't be shocked if we see 95 to 100 within a week or two. I mean, damn, we were at 94 a little while ago. So I mean, I don't know how much better we can do for you. So yeah, that's Bitcoin. Solana, one of our favorites. Let's take a look here. It's probably going to look pretty similar. Confirmation of uptrend, April 17th. If we can kind of figure out where that is, somewhere around 132-ish. Now we're at 151. Not bad, folks. Again, same kind of image up top. The red was above the zone, orange was above the green, blue's approaching the green. Perfect. We are probably likely to see some resistance here at the 100-day around 163, 164. So look for that. We'll see if we hit that and bounce back down just a little bit. Just from experience, I would say we would probably hit that, bounce back to the top of this cloud, and then go up from there. That's typically what we see. Hot sensor data, you can see we had that crossover right about when we were getting that potential trend reversal. So that was awesome. We're seeing color improvement on the medium and long term. And just to show you, we never really got to red. Didn't really have any green diamonds down here. But you can see we did make it to the orange right here at this bottom point. So I mean, that really wouldn't have been a determining factor for me. But these confirmations are, especially when you have crossovers and the mean reversion data looks like it does. I think it's a good setup. Again, none of it's financial advice, but it is a good setup. And just to show you, kind of looking at Solana, I want you to see this because it's important. Look where we got that red diamond. Right there on that top of that candle would have been around 266. And we got down to 101. That's a lot of savings, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why it took me 2 to 3 years to figure this out. Like right here, the dark green diamond, it would have hit somewhere right around 114-ish. Within a couple days, you're trading at 162. That's not 7%, just so you know. So awesome. So let's go look at that Jupiter chart because that was pretty sexy there. We will see here. And here's a great example. Red diamond here. You can see that back on, was that January 18th? So a couple months back, 115. Confirmation of downtrend. We got the red cloud. It came down. Now here, this is where it gets interesting and fun sometime. We tell you that the dark green diamonds are the most opportunistic times, right? So look here. Here's your first one from that downtrend. That would have been somewhere right around 48 cents. And people would be like, oh, well, it went lower. Well, of course it did. Well, look at what it did first, though. It did go up. But I want you to notice something. And this is why these aren't necessarily recommendations to buy or sell. These are areas of opportunity. It's a key distinction. But look at what you see on that dark green diamond. Mean reversion data is at the bottom. You don't see, it's not penetrating the green zone. It's not, these aren't up and these aren't up. It wasn't ready yet. And look, we were in the orange there, so that was getting there. I mean, that's like, okay, start paying attention, right? Yellow and orange. So none of them were red. So that's how you can tell this wasn't quite ready. Now, you could have made a little bit there, but are you going to have the guts to get out right there? Probably not. But I would not have made the trade because of what the other sensors were showing. And what happens? Bam, we hit the cloud and we continue lower. You know, we did get the signals, right? But now look here. That dark green diamond would have been right around, let's just say 37 cents, somewhere right around that red, bottom of that red. So 38 cents. Yes, it did go down to 30 cents, but look at where it is now. It's 46 cents. And look at where that dark green diamond occurred. Now, you're going to say, okay, on the mean reversion data, you are all down here in the bottom extreme zones. Yeah, that's not really what you're looking for. But, key. It's in the red, ladies and gentlemen. And what did I say earlier? When these hot sensors get down in the red, that's key areas of opportunity. So could you have gotten better than the dark green diamond? A little bit, sure. But if you can show me a system that pinpoints the bottom every damn time, then I would be interested. But yeah, this one has been pretty great to us. So that's how we would have played that one. And now you can see we got the potential, got the confirmation. We're now penetrating above the 50-day. We got a crossover, color scheme improvement on both the medium and the long term. A little ways to go. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing pop up to 65, back down a little bit, and then we'll evaluate from there. But so Jupiter, which is a Solana token, looks pretty good for the moment. We got to do it. It's one of our favorite projects, XRP. Shout out to the XRP army out there. You know who you are. But you can see this one, pretty good story here. Dark red diamond back on the 15th of January. That was the peak. We hit a downtrend, had some choppiness, but came down to and this is why we have the moving averages on here, because they do serve as support and resistance, right? So hit right at your 200-day. No dark green diamonds along the way. But again, we all know 200-day moving average is typically a major area of support. So what happens? You get a potential reversal. You get a confirmation. And we always say on the yellow signals, these two types, always give it at least a day to 3 days to solidify, so you can get that confidence in there, see what happens. That keeps you from getting burned by being early. But you can see now, kind of hit a little resistance here. We'll see where we go. Looking at mean reversion, looks, I'll say, interesting. The red is above the red zone. The orange is above the green zone, and the blue is entering it, but you can see they're starting to turn over. So I would tread carefully here. And we've only got the medium-term hot sensor still below the midline. So nothing too great here just yet. And if this red line breaks down below that red zone, these the orange and blue are likely to follow back into those extremes. So I would probably, at 217, I would just be watching this one, to be honest. And this is one of our largest holdings, so not being biased here. These signals would tell me to hold. So that's what I would be doing, or I am doing. H-bar, let's see what H-bar has got to offer. We can skip H-bar. Chainlink. Yeah, we'll skip that one for tonight. Oh, here we go. All right, here's Near Protocol. That's a good one for us. So I want to show you, again, we obviously got that downtrend up here at, what, $8 range. Damn, we're down at 250. But I do want to show you. We had multiple dark green diamonds on the way down here, right? The first one, or our first two, back in February 4th, but look at the hot sensors at the bottom of the screen. Blue going to yellow, yellow going to orange, blue going to yellow. It's not ready. Next one. Uh-oh. 2 of the 3 are red, being the medium and the long term. And when the medium and long term are red, that's a sign that we're closer to a bottom. Short term, the first one up here, the short term one, you're going to see more red in there typically. But the fact two of the three, hit that red sliver there on that diamond, that was a pretty good mark, and that would have been right around 230. And then the third one here, what do you know? Look at the bottom. It's in the red. Right around the 195 mark. So if you would have dollar cost average there, pretty damn good. And now we're at 250. So I'm just saying, that's how we make money. That's how we build bags, ladies and gentlemen. This is the TCP SuperSystem, and I am your creator. I'm sharing it for free. Please like, share, subscribe. You won't be disappointed. And then, as promised, I will show you the two alerts we got today. These are only potential trend reversals for Tesla and AT&T. Again, Tesla, you can see. Now here's an interesting one. I'm going to walk through this one because people try to give us slack sometime whenever they're evaluating a system. But I want to show you. So Tesla, we had a potential and a confirmation back on the October 29th, right? Nice run up. You got your dark red diamond right here. And we were in the red on 2 of 3. Pretty healthy mean reversion up here. So that was a decision point, right? And what do we say? Areas of opportunity. So you could have scaled out some there. But what do you notice? We haven't talked much about this. But when your cloud is green, you're in an uptrend. You want to try to stay in that trend as long as you can. So that is how you could have ridden this thing up higher. Now, as this thing continued to climb, what do you see? We stayed red on the long term. So that tells you during this phase, what do you want to be doing? Scaling out, right? And look at here. The medium term hot sensor turned red. So now you got 2 or 3. It's getting hotter. It peaks out. Show me a system that's good, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to see it. So that we hit a downtrend, cloud conversion. Never really got a dark green diamond, so would have been fine to stay away. Getting some choppiness, multiple signals, still no dark green diamond. Just now getting a little crossover here. So what I would expect to see here, probably a little bump up to this moving average, maybe a little retracement, and I would be willing to bet if that happens, we get a confirmation signal up label. And then hopefully, based on what I'm already seeing here, this is very healthy above the red zone, orange in the green like we've said, blue approaching green. That's hot. That's what you want. We just need a confirmation, and that this could probably be a go. And obviously, given the political turmoil around Tesla and Elon, I mean, obviously you got to watch that. But he's trying to scale out of that role, kind of get back to business, I think. So, I mean, that's only a catalyst to the upside for Tesla, I think. But Tesla's misunderstood. Anyway, and this stock, just an opinion, is far, far undervalued. But we'll see where it goes. And then AT&T, I didn't really want to show this one because AT&T, I've been watching this for family members for a really, really long time. It just honestly just seems to fluctuate between $15 and $30 every time. 15 to 30, back to 15, 15 to 30, whatever. And it doesn't really fluctuate a lot. I mean, look at the hot sensor. It's white across the board, right? So, I mean, it's not really, that's boring, right? You got some color change here. You did have a little red sliver here. You can see that was kind of at a local top. And we had a little downtrend. And you can see the cloud conversions and the potential and the confirmation. So, I mean, you could still make money there, but it's just not sexy. Last thing, I think, and if you go back and look at some of our videos lately, we did cover some of the Bitcoin miners recently. We do have positions in Bitfarms. And I will tell you that this chart, we actually took a position, a stock option position here. It was in the red, a dark green diamond, and we just thought they've been crushed. And you got the dark red up here, followed by the downtrend, dark green diamond. So we practice what we preach, ladies and gentlemen. We made a trade, and now we're, couldn't really ask for much more. We got the potential, the confirmation, color improving schemes on the medium and long term, crossover on the short term, reds in the extreme zones, perfect. Orange is up, penetrating the green, perfect. Blue's approaching the green, perfect. So this one is exciting to me right now. Again, with the stock option, if you know how that works, you can make significant returns with just a little bit of money. So that was one. We look forward to seeing where this one goes. Looks like we might have a little resistance here at the 50-day, but we'll see. Like I said, it's a kind of, personally, I hate stock options, but this looked too good to pass up on. So we went ahead and did that. Then, so that's probably going to wrap it up for today. You saw the 2 alerts. You saw some charts. I hope it was helpful. Hope it's something you can leverage in your own research efforts. Again, fantastic system at identifying areas of opportunity. We continue to leverage it to change our lives. I hope you can too. I want to keep bringing this to you for free. So again, like, share, subscribe. We greatly appreciate you. Appreciate your time. And we will see you in the next one. Best trading.